Designing for an elementary student is really about sparking the passion around learning. For us, it was really about integrating that element of play and the element of beauty and whimsy and serendipity, and really begin to think about this as their place and their own, but then also having those moments to sort of pause and think, isn't this cool? Because you want to think that school's cool.
I find that the kids are just happier. The lighting here, the foliage, the flowers, the beauty, it makes the kids happier. I just feel their energy here.
Wilkes is such a special community. I think that we all view ourselves as part of a big family.
There is a feeling tone of learning taking place here that permeates the building that I have not felt in other buildings I've worked in.
The process with the community and the staff here really uncovered for us a question around the role of the site as well as play in learning. What are those things that really light students up about learning, and how can we integrate elements of that into this project?
The building is less important than being connected to the environment, and so there's a lot of glass, there's a lot of glazing, there's a lot of balanced daylighting, there's a lot of opportunities for kids to be inspired by looking out and being connected in a transparent way to other spaces beyond their classrooms.
We were very thoughtful about how we connected education to an interior and an exterior learning environment. And you do not have a feeling of boundaries. The children can be in a classroom, they can be in the shared learning environment, they can be outdoors.
And that's what we couldn't do effectively before. You can't set a group out in the hallway and think that's an effective learning environment. It's not. Education has changed a lot in the last several years. For about 100 years, it was built on the fact that all kids would be in a classroom and they would be sitting mostly in rows and doing the same thing at the same time, and that is completely changing. Now we really are trying more to work with kids individually.
The building is designed completely with them in mind, and so if I have a student who has said, you know, Mrs. Keach, it's too loud in here for me, or I really need a quiet space to work, I can provide that for that child very easily now.
There's a lot of versatility how we use this space. Last year we had our artists in residence, and we got to use the whole space for dancing and acting out stories. So it's enriching. We also use this space for science.
The old building didn't really accommodate any sort of gathering or grouping or teaching and learning outside of the classroom. And so what we've done here is created layers of space that not only allow different kinds of activities to happen, but also for those activities to be seen. It facilitates learning in a powerful way. That's not about direct instruction, it's about observation.
In the little small rooms, we would do our reading groups, our math groups, all the little groups, because it's the little group room. Math group was definitely my favorite because the normal math that we do in the classroom, I wouldn't say is very much of a good fit for me.
We have a facility that allows us to develop an independence in kids, whereas before I think it was always delivered by the teachers and students sort of sat and received, and now really they're much more a partner in that.
There's just a deeper connection between students in each grade level.
Also, their skill levels are addressed better now because we can differentiate more easily.
You know, being in the Northwest, when we have a lot of rainy days, when we get that little bit of sun, it's really easy to pop out and make use of that. Grab some clipboards and we're doing a writing activity outside, or we can just pop down to the grass. Kids really enjoy that access to the outdoors. We're not relegated to just being in the classroom. We have a lot of options, which makes it really nice.
And the natural light has been incredible. I feel like I teach outside.
The idea that all spaces should be able to be taught in with the lights off became a marching order, which we discovered maybe the best solution isn't a two-story solution. And that really nested well with the site itself, so that we could actually sculpt the land so that the one-story piece sits very quietly within the community.
The building almost disappears. That's what our intent was, to have the building recede and have the environment be reflected in what happened here. And so the challenge was to touch lightly and integrate.
I feel Bainbridge as a whole and as a community has always been so proud of the effort that the community has made to celebrate the environment and sustainability, making sure that we are making good choices for our environment. And so to have a school that has that ability built into it is priceless.
Without exception, people are very proud of Wilkes.
The facility is incredible. This should be the standard of any elementary school in the nation.
When I look at Wilkes Elementary, it's not just that it's an aesthetically pleasing school. It embodies in a very concrete fashion what we value as a community. That we have created a school that I think works remarkably well to support education.